starting to record. Output. There, okay. Let's do that. Okay. There. I'm still on the call. Oh no, I'm talking Discord. I'm talking. Yes, no, I'm talking Discord. I'm talking. All right. Am I not connecting? Should we connect? Hello.
What's up?
Oh, we've got a little workshop going on. Or we
Yeah, I saw the post.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
thought I'd hop in at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait a few minutes before starting. Just in case anyone else shows
Yeah,
up.
welcome to the Army community. No one's on time.
Exactly, yeah. That's why I'm like, you know what? If Op started 30 minutes late because it took us 20 minutes to do the briefing, then yeah.
Howdy. Oh.
Alright. No, I don't want to do anything with Final Fantasy. Live, okay, we're recording. Cyvern, can you speak just so I can see if the audio works?
Oof.
Okay, there we go. We're good. I don't need this. Uh, Alright, well, I'm going to give people 5 more minutes and then we can get started. Again, if they're late, and we've got the VOD to watch. make everything run smoother. Close that paper I was editing. Okay. Oh, okay, good. That's what the issue was. I don't need to watch my own stream. Okay. All right, we're gonna get started with this wonderful mod workshop that I've decided to run. So you'll see in the the little suggestions and bugs page, I've made some textures that we're just gonna be able to use, or that I'll be at least using for this process. So the first thing you'll want to do when making any mod is and I usually just have it on my desktop because the only two things I do are on this computer are schoolwork and gaming, and 90% of that gaming is just editing Arma 3 mods. So we will, and I recommend whenever making a mod, you first create a dev file. So because this is going to be the weird Christmas mod that I'm making. So there we go, TKE Nutcracker. And then let's go to just kind of have a look at how it looks. And so the initial folder, you need to create a folder for add-ons. Essentially, and this is kind of with all Arma 3 mods and really any modding, everything is a derivative of everything else. And so all of my stuff is like, I made one format initially, and I've just kind of copied that and ran with it. So now we've got Visual Studio Code, which is the code system I use. So we're going to new file, create new file, meta.cpp, and we will create it in TKE Nutcracker. And then we'll create another file, mod.cpp, again in Nutcracker. And so the point of meta and mod.cpp is they're kind of how the workshop identifies your mod. And I'm just going to copy this. The publish ID and the timestamp, I don't actually know what those are for. I've never actually touched them. It was part of a meta.cpp, and so I pulled it from when I originally started modding several years ago. Probably actually it was like 2 years ago, I think, not several. But it's just called TKE Nutcracker is the name, and then for the mod.cpp, and this is kind of the more intensive part, I'd say. So the name, and I'm sorry if the audio is a little spotty. And then, so the picture, this is the path, it's TKE Nutcracker, which is what's the PBO's name is going to be, and then textures, which is the folder that the textures are going to be found in. And then this just leaves me as the author. And am I cutting out terribly?
A little bit, but it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I can still understand.
Yeah, and there is the bot. So okay. So we've got meta and mod.cpp. That's pretty much all we need to do for that. You can name this anything, the logo.paa. You can name it anything you want. I just stick with logo.paa because as long as there's a logo.paa file, you can be like, I want to change the logo, and you don't have to remember what you called the logo. You can just change it.
Could you copy and paste this somewhere?
Yes, I'll.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, let me put it in. The okay, right. No, I want to be. Okay, well, I can't do lines of code though. We'll just keep it to that. Okay. Then the and I'll also share the files for this as well at the end.
Okay.
And I'll include a drive link in the YouTube as well. So then we're going to go into add-ons in the add-ons folder in our TKE Nutcracker. Wait till I reconnect. Okay. We're going to create a new folder, name it TKE underscore Nutcracker. And then we're going to create another folder. Okay, another folder called textures. Now some people like to make really long paths, and that's usually like people who have P3D files as well. I don't have P3D files in my mods because they're just retextures. So the pathing is very much it's add-ons, then the PBO name, and then just textures. But now we're going to get to the real meat and potatoes of it. We are going to make a new file, config.cpp. Put it in TKE Nutcracker. We just under textures, and this is pretty much how the mod kind of works. This is everything that you see in game comes out of this file. And you can have, if you have multiple PBOs, like my 7th Fleet mod, which you are welcome to open up and root around into, and have a look at. You know, you can have multiple configs depending on what exactly you're using. However, the first thing we want to do is hashtag define ARMA, I believe. Yeah. So that immediately starts off, okay, doing an ARMA mod. The class CFG patches. This is a good thing to have always, because this allows you to have stuff be visible in the editor and in Zeus. And then if you're ever coding weapons is also important. Required add-ons, you won't need to put anything on if you're just putting the add-ons in the Steam page. So then, okay. I don't need these two files or these files anymore. Okay. Now, then we have two. Okay. We have class CFG vehicles and class CFG weapons. And these are our two, the main areas we're going to be working with. There are other classes that you can use, and you can find information about that on the like Bohemia Interactive website, where they have all the information about modding. But right now, just to keep things simple, this is the three things we're going to use.
What's going on here?
Who is this? I can't see the name, so.
Okay. I'm someone.
Oh.
I'm an individual.
Ah, I see.
Oh.
Doing a little modding workshop for folks.
I see.
But so now we're going to be retexturing a uniform, a vest, a helmet, and then the AAF tank. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go into the Arma 3 launcher. Make sure you have ACE downloaded, and then obviously whatever mod you're kind of drawing class names from. And there's two ways you can go about this. The first that I recommend is you open for Windows Explorer. Yes, I understand. Don't be a bad boy. So now I don't take anything from these files. It's for me to find class names and for me to find texture paths. But I need to be able to find out what class names and what textures are being used for those class names. So we're going to play with mods. And Arma is going to take a short time because I've made sure that I have no other mods downloaded than the ones I need. Right, Arma? You very old gaming system that I still apparently enjoy. But if you are wanting to unpack one of these PBOs, we'll do TKEBDU because that's one of mine. Show more options, and then open with, and there's two options. There's either the PBO manager, which is one thing you can download, or there's Makero's tools, which I also talked about downloading. And that extracts all PBO types, and it should extract them all. And all the stuff that you need. And then you press the any key, refresh so it goes to the top, and there you have it. And then you can look into that and root around and see like, okay, there's textures applied to various surfaces. But first we need to find out what the class names are of the assets that we're retexturing. And so Arma is loading. And this is kind of the best way I go about it because I can kind of kit bash in the ACE arsenal about what I might want, and then I can go and texture that. So yeah. Now let's all fall asleep, staring at the black screen. Oh, yes, we all know Bohemia Interactive made this game. Feels like it's the only game you've made in 10 years.
No.
Well,
They made that one that flopped.
Oh, oh gosh, which one was that? The
Battle Royale. It came out like 2 days ago on PC for real. For real. But it was a console game.
Oh.
I forgot what it was called.
I think is like V something.
It's something V, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Let me
downloaded
look
that
it up
for
real quick while you do
free.
this.
I downloaded that for free on my Xbox because I was like, sure, why not?
Vigor.
Yeah.
But it hasn't come out yet.
Well, it's out for early. I think it's out for if you buy it, but it's supposed to come out for free.
And they also made Argo, and they also made the
Well,
weird.
Argo wasn't a game. It's just
They made the weird
of a thing.
sci-fi Command and Conquer clone.
Yeah.
I think they just published that.
So
someone else makes that. Yeah, someone else makes that.
The assets that we want to retexture, we want to retexture the basic combat uniform. We'll do. Oh gosh, where's the marine armor? Just the regular marine armor for now. And the marine helmet. And we don't need these, so I'm just going to get rid of those. All right. So the first thing
What's the uniform called again?
The UCN combat uniform is the one we're wanting to retexture.
Okay.
So
copy.
Yeah. So the class name we've got is TKE Rogue Uniform _U_B. So we know that that's the class name. Now we can go. I don't need this. Into and all the uniforms are going to be in Rogue uniform, and we can find right here. And so now the first step we've got is the CFG vehicles version. And that's our kind of our first stop. So down on CFG vehicles. So here's here's kind of what it's taking from. So we can copy this. And then we make, and this basically defines a model, it's an invisible person that's wearing the uniform. So we want everything to be scope 1, so that it's not visible, because this guy is just a random guy. The display name isn't important. However, it is helpful. So.
Well, I'm sorry, I got lost. How did you get the rogue uniform again?
So
what did you look into?
I looked into the PBO file for and
rogue uniform.
Yeah, rogue uniform.
Okay.
And I found the class name of what I wanted, which is TKE Rogue Uniform Inf B. And I located it, and then I copied that line and this whole text, because this is the first part that we need to retexture.
Did you unbinarize it, or was it already unbinarized for you when you unpacked the PBO?
So Makara's tools, it
unbinarizes it by
yeah, it unbinarizes the config.
Ooh, okay.
It does not unbinarize the P3Ds.
Okay, so I was using PBO manager.
Yeah.
So let me install that real quick.
Yeah.
You can keep going. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah. And again, of course, this is for the purpose of retexturing. This is not, this is not something you should be doing if you're wanting to create your own things. I've got a bunch of weird code to make stuff work in the 7th Fleet mod, but this is kind of the way to texture it that I'm kind of your standard way. So we want to define the area we're drawing from, which is the TKE Rogue Uniform Inf B, because we're going to change this class name to Inf Nutcracker. Sure. Or no, we'll do Inf Santa because that's a shorter class name. So, and then we're going to change the uniform class to TKE Rogue Uniform U Santa. And then we've got these hidden selection textures. And hidden selections textures are your texture files. However, if I am drawing this from TK Kuiper engagements, and I'm just going to get that blue uniform we saw. So instead, what I want to do is I want to rename this TKE Nutcracker textures, and then I believe I have Rogue Unipants Santa .paa, and so, and we will do that for both the pants and the top. And so that is the CFG vehicles config all done for the uniform. Now we're going to move on to the CFG weapons, which is the actual wearable component of the uniform. And so like the CFG vehicles, we are going to define what we are drawing from, class TKE Rogue Uniform UB, because we are changing it to U Santa. Display name, we can easily just copy and paste Nutcracker Combat Uniform. The picture is going to be that TKE Nutcracker Textures logo.paa. So that's the logo that'll show up. Model, we can keep the same. Author.
By logo, you mean on like the left side, right? When you're in the
Yes.
arsenal?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can also
Just to confirm.
change the left side as well. But right now, just to avoid making too many things, I'm just going to keep with logo PAA.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. All right. Then we're changing that to TK Rogue Uniform Inf Santa. So now, if you'll notice, Control F, these two class names match right here, and these two class names match because the textures for the wearable uniform, which is the CFG weapons, is drawing from this line in the CFG vehicles. It's strange how Arma 3 does uniforms, but it's kind of the best way because eventually, if you want to get into factions, which we won't be covering today, like your rifleman is what your rifleman is and what they carry is all defined in CFG vehicles. So you would be pulling from this uniform there. All right. So we've got all that figured out. And so now we want to find the helmet, the helmet class name. And now helmets get a little easier because a lot of helmets only have one PA file. Specifically this one is why I chose it. It's simple. TKE UCMC helm. Now, of the wearable objects, only the CFG of wearable objects, backpacks and uniforms get defined in CFG vehicles. Nothing else does. Vests and armor or yeah, vests and helmets are all defined in CFG weapons. So we're going to put TKE UCMC helm. I believe that's the class name. Nope, it's one word, not underscore. Okay. And we will write, we'll go, class TKE UCMC helm Santa semicolon TKE UCMC helm. Define the author. Oh, this is weird. Oh, I know what's going on. Frenchie, which is me. Nope. Scope equals 2. Just means you can find it in the arsenal. Display name is Nutcracker, or quotation marks, sorry. Nutcracker vest. Picture we'll just take from there. And then we will define the hidden selections textures and where we're going to find those. And they'll be, again, same as before. Under oh, no, this is the helmet. This is okay. TKE UCMC helm Santa.pa. Because I believe the texture I've got for that. And if not, that can always be fixed and edited. All right, and then the final thing, or the final piece that we're going to retexture, is, oh, I just cut out, is going to be the vest. Now, the vest is a bit more complicated, and that's because you might not be retexturing all of the assets that you can find. So we're going to look at the TKE UCN and we're going to look at armor. And, oh, 2 armor. Okay, is this the one I wanted? It is the one I wanted. All right. No, I want just the basic. Okay, so we obviously don't want to take all of this stuff right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just copy this little part right here. And again, copying and pasting is the most efficient way of doing this because you are just going to be doing that anyways. It's just, oh, helmet for the helmet. It's just how much time do you want to take in copying and pasting. All right. Frenchie is the author again. So for the armor, we have 3 different textures that are being used. So UCMC pouches and we're gonna make that that's the regular, not the camo variant. Wait. Okay, I connected. All right. Oh, everyone abandoned us. Okay.
I'm still here. Don't worry.
No, it's okay.
I'm taking notes.
All right. Oh wait, there's the pod. So, which is still recording, aren't you? Good, you're still recording. All right. TKU CMC pouches. That's going to be your pouches. For all of your stuff. TKAU CMC Armor P is those little pads that they have on the vests, like on the shoulders. And then TKAU CMC Armor Camo is the file that we're going to be changing. So what we will be doing is we'll be just like before. And I'm just going to copy this whole thing. And we change that to armor. So, and then that'll be, I mean, that should work. Again, the wonderful thing about armor modding is that it's very complicated. And at times you can do everything right and still get it wrong. But the game does tell you. Now, the third thing that we're going to be doing, there are two options of going about this, and of retexturing a vehicle. The first one that I recommend is finding a mod that actually retextures the vehicle, because then you can see how they did it, and so you can kind of copy and paste. But if you want to know how to find the class name of any vehicle, I mean, I don't really need to explain that. You can just go into the editor and place that vehicle down and then hover over it with your cursor, and it should tell you. So this time we're retexturing IMBT03 Canon F, which is the AAF Leopard 2. I don't need these files anymore. And so this, obviously, being a vehicle, is going to go in CFG vehicles. Now, we're going to change this to Santa. The faction. Ooh, this is where we can do the factions. Okay. Class CFG factions. Where's factions? Oh gosh. Let me open up another one of my files so I can remember how to do factions. Okay. Okay, so class CFG faction classes. There we go. And then we'll just take one of those. Blue 4 is going to be 2. No, it's 1. 1 is blue 4. 2 is independent. 3 is civvy, and 0 is op 4. It's weird. But the Nutcrackers, NC, is going to be our faction name. And so, put that in faction, side 1, crewman. We're going to delete that because we're not doing that kind of work right now. And then typical cargo work will also delete that. So we've got the MBT-52 Jaguar, which is the TKE name that I've chosen for the Leopard 2, because Leopards and Jaguars and Panthers are all kind of the same animal.
Hello.
We're doing a retexture workshop. Yes. So we're going to go TKE Nutcracker textures. Again, we're just copying and pasting. And then changing the class name to Santa. Again, just kind of and then there is the camo net option. I have chosen to leave that as the base, which is the A3 Armor F Data camo net, NATO green. You know. All right, so that should actually be very good. We want to define this, the Santa MBT52. I did say those words. This is a weird thing. We're going to define that in both units and vehicles, so that one, that we know that this is a vehicle, and then that can be placeable on the battlefield and all that, and then units, so that we also know that this is a unit of itself, and that can be an AI unit. Okay, so that's all squared away. Now we're gonna go. We're gonna close the game because we don't need that open anymore. Don't close the launcher if you've got it open. Just close the game. And we're gonna load Arma 3 tools. We're gonna go to Text View 2. File, open, and we're gonna be at Downloads. So we've got the, oh gosh, what did I have for the, okay, I didn't have the _CO. So we've got the Santa helmet. This is, and we're going to change that name from P, and so make sure that save as type PAA is selected. And we're going to change that from a PNG to a PAA. And I'm going to also make it TKA UCMC Helm Santa without the _CO. All right. Then we will just kind of keep doing the same for all the assets that we want to retexture, turning them into PAAs. I have no idea how any of this is going to look in game, so I'm very excited because I kind of just was like, I'm going to do this. And yeah. All right. Then again, it's pretty slow going. Usually with retexture work, I love doing it. It's very relaxing for me because sometimes it is just kind of mindlessly clicking and just changing things. All right, so now that all those are retextured and we've got those files converted to PAAs, we're going to head over to textures in the TKE Nutcracker and type in PAA, find the PAA, Control X, Control V. All right, and now we've got all that. We're also going to want to create our logo. For that, we are going to use pixlr. And I'm going to go into my logos. Little tab. Santa Claus skull is the images I was using. Full vector, and that's usually another good search is for vector. Vector. Okay. Again, this is kind of finding one that you like. Right now, let's choose. Let's go. Crossed candy canes. We'll just choose. Copy image. Green vector. I'm gonna cut out. See if I can make it. There we go. Okay. And then we'll do a skull vector. Just because this is the Goofy Santa Claus mod, where for the op that I'm planning for Christmas, people will be going to kill Smellman, the fictional cult of the TKE setting. Okay, make that smaller. Again, remove. This is a very simple logo, but it doesn't need to be too fancy. And then we're going to save that as logo.png. It already exists, I know. I'm overwriting something, and we will grab that. All right. Okay. We can take it and go put it in here. Okay. Now all we have left to do is to click on TKE Nutcracker. We'll right click on it, show more options, PBO Manager, and this is where you do need PBO Manager, because PBO Manager is the thing that allows you to binarize PBOs so that Arma can read them. So it's weird. You have to have two things that kind of do the same thing, but also don't. But taking Nutcracker PBO, and now we can go into load a local mod. Yes, desktop is what I want. TKE Nutcracker, select folder, load the mod, and we've got it. And so now, hopefully, if I did everything right, it should work perfectly on the first time. Oh, here is where the fun begins. Okay, so TK row uniform, undefined base class uniform item. The magical thing about Arma is that 9 times out of 10 it will tell you what's wrong with your mod. So we didn't define uniform item. Okay. So CFG weapons, and we're going to define uniform item, and then for safety's sake, actually I believe I don't think I need to define item info. I don't want to see if I have defined it though. Just for I'm going to define it for safety's sake. Class item info. All right. So that's actually worked out perfectly. That's a wonderful little teaching opportunity. So we're going to save that config again. Go back in, or we can close this. Go back into add-ons, and we will remake our PBO, and it's going to overwrite, and you can trash that other one because you don't need it anymore. All right. Let's give it a test again. Also, we don't need these open. Okay. Again, more wonderful armor things. It just kind of likes to work its way down. See where you failed. Oh, again. Now this is 88. Line 88. Do I see it? No, I don't. Okay. So again, it's kind of a weird thing about Arma. It'll say line blank. It's gonna be wrong. It's not perfect. It can't pinpoint exactly what line you're working with. So, but again, all right. Show more options. PVO manager. Oh, I forgot. I have to make sure Arma's closed because if not, then it says you can't edit code while it's being used in game. This is the not fun part, is seeing all the things you did wrong. Alright. But as this is a workshop, it is a good learning opportunity. Hmm. 988. Okay. What have you seen there? In selections, sure. Okay. Need that. Line 88. And it was send it up PAA. I'm just gonna leave that because I really don't need that hidden selections version. And I believe that should be good. We'll see if that's what it's looking at. Okay. Okay. Now we're getting to the bottom of it. So it's Saints encountering semicolon instead of what it actually wants. Config line 87. Where in the world? Well, let's just Control F dot. Oh, duh. That's what's wrong. Okay. Yeah. That's what's wrong. Alright. I forgot to put the brackets around those areas. So much fun. This part. Okay. Show more options. Back into TKE Nutcracker PBO. And make sure that's our most recent version. It's all refreshed. And hopefully, if everything is going right, because usually when you get to the end, because it just whenever it meets an error in the code, it it says, hey, this is wrong.
Yeah.
So once you're at the bottom and you're fixing issues at the bottom of your code, you're like, yeah, it's almost done. Oh, encountered. Oh my gosh. And then you've got fun little bits where it's like you need to do this and not that, and Because your issue was 76. Using see him Santa. Here's the lectures. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. -7. This is perplexing me. Let me have a look. Yeah, it should be okay. The armor short helmet. Everything should look right. So I don't know why it's not. And it's irritating me. Line 87. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that maybe. We'll put this back. Okay. Well, I don't know why this is happening. Because I do think that all the code is checked out. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's everything working. If this doesn't work, I'll just go on to the kind of the publishing side of things. Okay, well, that's not working. I don't know why it's not. It seems to be an issue in this line, but there should be no issue in the line that I'm seeing at all. So we will just move on. So congratulations, you've gotten your mod to work. Somehow. Now you have a dev branch. Oh gosh, I haven't updated. I haven't done any work on Messiah, so we'll do that. So we can close this, and we can close that. And we're gonna load Arma 3 tools again. And we're gonna take a mod, and we've got for the Omnissiah, which is my Adeptus Mechanicus mod. That's just a bunch of AdMech retextures. So for the Omnissiah, okay, let's grab. We're gonna open a publisher. So you'll want to make a copy of your dev file. Copy. And you'll rename it just for the Omnissiah. And then I will say no, I'm not replacing the folder because we've already got a for the Omnissiah folder. And we'll go to desktop, find our stable version of the mod, select the folder, no actual update, just updating for a workshop class. Update content. Alright, because for some reason, after all my TKU stuff for the Omnissiah is my most downloaded mod. Alright. Open item web page. And so Steam will, if Steam wants to open for me, no, it doesn't. But Steam takes a bit to update it. Like it has to basically make sure that like there's no malware or anything. And then people will be able to download it. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try and get this issue with that piece of code fixed, and then I will share all those files in the modding workshop run by me, as well as the link to the VOD.
Okay.
All right. Any questions?
Nope.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for hosting. Appreciate it.